5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Well, we'll try it again, folks. I don't know what happened. We had to reboot all our equipment. Everything went out. Everything went bonkers on us, and I have no idea why it did that. But, you know, here we are. Here we are. We're going for a second go on this, and let me see here. I think now it should all work, actually. In fact, let me put this on because my shirt has a tendency to moire on smaller monitors. Moraing is when it gets, well, it mores. No, right? Okay. Now let me open up the Skype lines. As soon as we opened up the Skype lines, something happened, and I don't know what it was, but everything went out, and we went down. There were some weird things happening here on the computer tonight, too, before I went on, and now I have no idea what it was. But now we have the ability to talk to people, so let's give it a try, okay? So if you're out there and you can call me and you want to be part of the citizen panel, there we go. There we go. Here comes Josh Wheeler. Josh should probably come in where he came in last night, which is in the top spot. Let me see here. Let me go here to, there we go. See, there's Josh. Hi, Josh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, everybody can hear me. You can hear me now. Okay. Thanks for calling back, Josh. I appreciate it. You know.
Oh, it's no problem.
You know, these things happen. It's I should go out and commit suicide now, I think. You know, but we don't know what happened here. So we'll just try and, you know, make the best of it. And now I hope other people call. Maybe Phil gave up on us. Maybe Jeff gave up on us. They were all calling.
Yeah, I saw Charlie had called.
Well, I get everybody calling, and I'm trying to solve the problem, and so it's like everything's coming at me at one time, and it's maddening. It is just maddening.
I just, like I said there, I'll just hang up and stand by until you get it fixed and call back. I know Patrick said he's going to call, so I sent him a note and said, "You're ready now." So, because he had sent me something and said sounded like a repeat was on, so I told him you had problems, so he'll probably call.
Yeah, but anyway, the rest of you can call, though. You know, it looks like Phil gave up.
You should be able to send him a message. I'm sure he's hanging out waiting.
I'm not going to send him a message, but he probably already sent me one, like saying, "Do you know you're down?" You know.
Yeah.
People do that too. They go, "Do you know you're down?" You know who was still up, though? I was still up on Facebook. All right.
I saw that. Yeah, that's how I found out exactly what was going on.
I was still on Facebook. There's and here comes Phil Meyer. Let me see here. There's Phil, and he'll probably come in the. Where was he last night? He wasn't in the second spot. Oh, there he was. Yeah, there we go.
Here comes everybody.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I guess I should reboot this computer about once every couple of days, and then this kind of thing won't happen. But come on. I'm looking for Facebook to come up now. Come on, Facebook. There you go. God damn it. This so something happened. I don't know. There was something weird happening on this computer earlier tonight, and so we're now okay. So let me see here. Here comes Jason in the number 4 spot. Let me try and. Huh? Let me see here. Jason is in the number 4 spot, so I go with Jason.
Hey,
Josh.
Alex.
Hold on. Don't bother me right now. Let me just.
Well, fuck you.
Let me take care. No, let me take care of this, Phil.
All right. I was just going to tell you to call Charlie. He was on the same line with me.
Let's see here. 3 a.m. Is that you, Jason? Jason tried to call.
Yeah, I'm here. My microphone or speakers are doing something goofy, so I made sure I put you on mute, and then...
There we go. Yes, Phil, I can't do two things at one time.
Well, I was on the impression you could pat your tummy and rub your head at the same time.
No, it's years past that now.
Okay. Yeah. Jason can still do it.
Yeah. No, I can still do it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Can you switch it up?
You want to switch it up? You mean?
Yeah, you gotta
switch it. Yeah.
There, and then.
I can't do it.
There we go. Okay.
It looks like you're trying to do it too many times, Phil, and you rubbed a bald spot.
Yeah.
Hey, you should talk. Just wait 5 years.
5 years. Come on.
What do you mean?
You'll be combing that shit up over the top of your head.
He's got Latin genes in him. His hair ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. What's that Julio Iglesias look like?
He's got hair.
He's got hair?
Yeah.
It's a wig.
Yes. So
it's implants.
So you say. Anyway, so I don't know what happened tonight. It's just everything went out. All my my hard drives, which are external hard drives, just completely disappeared. And of course, I record to those hard drives to record the show, and everything went wonky. And the only thing I could do was reboot. Now that I reboot and get everything, I have to get everything going again. So that takes about 5 minutes or so. But anyway, so we're in good shape now. Yes, Jason.
I want to make you feel better, Alex.
Yeah.
So the other day I was at work and I'm pulling out of a parking space.
Mm-hmm.
I look left, right, left again, and I take my foot off the brake. I start idling out. But I'm paying attention to the right because that's the way I'm going to turn.
Yeah.
And there's other traffic that might be coming from that direction. Somebody was flying through our parking lot, wasn't there a second before, clipped my front end, totaled out my car.
Wow.
A truck?
No, it was a Dodge Avenger, just a car, but it's because of the age of it. It was a 2012.
Yeah.
Did like $7,000 worth of damage, and that's what the car was worth.
Wow. But you're insured.
Yeah, so now I'm going to get a check for a little under $7,000, but now I got to go out and buy a new car.
Whose fault did they say it was?
I know it's going to be my fault because I'm coming out of 2 yellow lines. That's a parking spot.
Yeah.
But this guy had
it
to
was
have been
your
doing,
front corner.
Yeah, this guy had to have been doing 30 miles an hour in the parking lot because it actually, when he hit me, he scraped through half of his vehicle too.
Yeah, well,
Wow. You know what I got? I got one of those cameras that you put in your car so that you can see, if somebody hits you and they blame you or the cop pulls you over and says you ran the light and doesn't give me professional courtesy. So it's a.
I know all you Russian spies have that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Republican thing.
Yeah.
But do you have one of those?
No. I thought about getting one before, same reason that you did too, watching all the Russian cameras is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I might save my butt one day. And maybe I would have that, because I swear they even tease me at work and call me Mr. Safety.
How fast? How fast did the insurance company settle with you?
It's basically as soon as the dealership took the car apart and said, it's going to cost this much. And the insurance company said, well, the car's only worth this much, so it's totaled.
Oh, okay. So you get $7,000. What are you going to do? You're going to get a brand new car? Or you're going to...
I'm getting a new car.
I buy a Dodge Avenger.
Man, that was a great car for me. I loved it.
Yeah.
But it's 8 years old or whatever, 7, 8 years old, and somebody nails you like that and takes out enough, But I'm gonna get a Jeep Compass.
Oh no! Please don't do that.
Why? They're nice.
There's a podcast. It's called Scotty Kilmer. It's some guy in Texas that fixes cars for over 50 years, and I believe that he's a pretty honest guy. And this Scotty, he says, do not buy that car. His customers have nothing but problems with these Jeep Compasses. They're really poorly made. And just remember, who owns Jeep? Fiat. Fiat owns Jeep. Who makes one of the worst cars in the world? Fiat.
They're like now today the 4th largest car company in the world.
It may be the 4th largest, but it's probably the first worst.
Oh man, my I got a lot of family that works for Chrysler, and my sister-in-law, she had one before. I'd seen it, I've driven in it, and it's a nice little car. It's
I worked there. I worked there for many years. I mean, I was a line mechanic in a Jeep dealership for quite a long time when I was an automotive mechanic. I mean,
did Fiat
I
own
own two
them then?
Jeeps now. I don't own a Compass, and I'm not particular like those. But I mean, my wife has a Patriot, which is the sister car to the Compass. But I mean, I have a Grand Cherokee. But I mean, I've had many Jeeps. I mean, before I worked for SW, I worked for Daimler Chrysler. So
and the thing I heard. It's that and the was the Fiat 500, which is also the Jeep Renegade. There are a lot of similar components, and I talked to a mechanic one time, and he said actually that the Fiats are extremely easy to work on.
Because he's a mechanic.
Well,
he keeps him busy.
In Italy, the joke was it stands for "Fix It Again, Tony."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Fiat. I mean, my issue with Chrysler the whole time I ever worked there was they were constantly trying about once a decade, they were constantly getting themselves in bed with somebody else who would come in and tell them how to make cars. And then, when it wasn't going so well, they would shrug that off and then go to somebody else. I mean, that was the whole thing about, Daimler Chrysler when they were owned by the Germans and Mercedes-Benz. A lot of that stuff they sent over here, I thought was supposed to be Mercedes-Benz, was supposed to be so great, and I thought it was fucking junk.
I think there was a big change up though when they went to Fiat and Sergio Marconi got in there, and he, that was one of the biggest things you would always hear is never buy a first-year model of a new vehicle because it's going to be nothing but problems.
Get a used Lexus SUV or something. Do not buy a Jeep Patriot. I wouldn't steer you wrong on this shit. You got to listen to Scotty.
Listen to Phil.
Go to YouTube, Scotty Kilmer.
I go to Phil on everything.
But you should.
Phil has an opinion about what to buy and what not to buy, and
so what does
I'm
he
sure
say
he
about
had an
your
opinion on
Toyota,
what was
Phil?
wrong with my computer.
The Toyota
tonight.
FJ is worth almost what I paid for it in 2011. I have never had a problem with it at all.
Yeah, but you can say the same thing about a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I mean, the Jeep Grand Cherokee is the #1 selling SUV of all time.
Maybe the #1 selling, but it's only worth about 50% of what you paid for it as soon as you drive it off the lot.
I'm just telling you that that's perfectly fine, but and I can go upstairs and do this if you want. I can go upstairs and I can bring down my plaque to prove to everybody that I am still an ASE certified master automobile technician, and then I can bring down a couple more plaques that can show my 10 years of service spent in a Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep dealership. And I've had every single part on and off, every single Jeep made between the years that they came out up until the year that I left in 2006.
Josh,
they have issues. All cars have issues.
They have issues.
If he likes the car, buy the car.
Right. And Jeep actually, just because of the name, it actually holds on to value. Which I don't
you have all those credentials, Josh, but you don't compare to Phil and his opinion.
That's right. That's right, because I listened to Scotty Kilmer, and he said, do not buy a Jeep Compass.
He put carpet in the first Jeep.
I will be the first to admit, though, I mean, I started out doing that when I was 16. I got in the apprenticeship and started working at a dealership, and then I continued to do that while I went to college. I mean, that's how I got in the skilled trades. That's why, even though I have an education, I don't teach or anything because I got into skilled trades, and then I got to where I'm at now, and I make so much more money than I would make if I quit to go teach that I've stayed in it. But I will be the first to admit that mechanics in automotive, but really mechanics in any field, there is no doubt that if you go ask 10 of them, you will get 10 different. I mean, you're not going to get unanimity. I mean, they're almost like doctors in that regard. I mean,
Phil,
you're not going to get a solid
When did you hear this
answer.
podcast?
Oh, they're all the time. I like Scotty Kilmer, and
if you show that guy again, I've seen that guy's videos, and he's a fucking lunatic.
Lunatic.
Yeah, before 2018, the Compass.
That guy doesn't want you to buy any fucking car. Period.
Yeah, he doesn't want you to buy anything but a good car. Okay. Hey, Jeff's got his hand up.
Yes,
I support. Guess who?
Josh.
Nope. Chevy.
Nope, there's somebody who knows Scotty, and you're absolutely right.
You know Scotty?
Well, yeah, I've heard him a lot. Yeah, I think he's very good.
I think he's the best.
But Phil, you also said
says two non-mechanics.
Lexus, right?
I said buy a used Lexus SUV.
Don't you feel bad, Josh, that you have all these diplomas and they're just no good in the eyes of Scotty?
Not really. I mean,
beam me up.
When I left in 2000, right at the beginning of 2006, the internet was, becoming fairly much more commonplace. Not like it is now, but the DIY stuff on the internet was getting pretty heavy. And I mean, and honestly, that's one of the reasons that I left is because, someone would ask you for your opinion, and then you would give them your opinion, and then no, I read that blah blah blah, and it's like, well, okay, I mean, then sounds like you know what the fuck's up. So my shit runs good, motherfucker. I don't really care.
You know what I just realized? I didn't turn on the. Well, I know what I'll do later. Forget it. What is that?
That was Scotty.
Where's that coming from?
Scott.
It came from Scotty.
I can see him talk.
That's annoying, Phil. Anyway, no, I just realized I hadn't turned on the audio, the internet broadcast. Hello, everybody. How
Jeff,
are you?
You listen to Scotty, and what did you say about the Lexus SUV? You don't like it?
Well, I had two of them.
Yeah.
And, they were great.
Yeah.
They were absolutely great.
Yeah. If I have to buy another car and I don't plan on it, I'd get a Lexus.
Oh, you like Toyotas?
Yeah, I do.
They just got my granddaughter a Lexus, a used Lexus.
Well, Phil's right about everything, so I'm
yes, I am.
Yes, of course. And you were so.
You're the guy that's taking a bus, right?
Yeah. I took a long one today too. I took one that was yes, Jason.
So I work for a large communications company. I was doing a job for this old timer, and he had to, he was in his 80s. He's like 85 years old. He's not home yet, but in his driveway, there's a Toyota minivan in the driveway. Mm-hmm. And then he pulls up and he's in this Volkswagen car. So I go up to him like, you didn't fight in the big war, did you? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you got a Japanese car here, and then you pull up in a German car. He obviously didn't fight in World War II. He busted up laughing so bad.
Then he complained out on you?
Well, Phil is right about everything, including his assertion the last, 2 weeks or so, that this vote would never come to impeachment inquiry. Didn't you say that, Phil? You said that it wasn't. You said wait a minute, Phil, listen to me. You said it wasn't going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
No, you said it wasn't going to happen, that this vote was going to happen.
No, I said they would not vote on impeachment. All this is a shit show. And that vote meant nothing.
What do you mean? It meant that finally meant that
they're talking about an inquiry.
Wait a minute, Phil, shut up for a second, will you? Jesus.
You don't want to challenge me.
No, I would like to tell you that what this is all about now is that your guy has a chance to defend himself.
You wanted due process. That's what this is. This is due process. This is how things work.
No, this is not.
It's exactly due process.
It's not an impeachment. It is
the steps that you go through impeachment, Phil. You do an inquiry.
And the president and his people are going to have a chance to present their information. And it will not be in closed hearings. It'll be in open hearings. This is everything the Republicans have been asking for. Yes, Charlie.
Yeah, this is the stage at which the police are going out and investigating a crime, and that's always done in closed quarters. That is never done out in the open with everybody watching.
But that's when it's a kangaroo court.
Well, no, it isn't a kangaroo court, Phil, because the president will be
Charlie,
the president and his people, Phil. The president and his people will be allowed to appear and to present their evidence. So it isn't a kangaroo court. Yes, Jason.
So, Phil, you know I love you. You know I'm
There's
doing
no
this in
reason
jest,
to love him, Jason. There's no reason.
I have to say this because I think it's funny, and like I've always wanted to say it to you. Does your ass ever get jealous of all the shit that comes out of your mouth?
That's funny.
You know, it's unfortunate that you guys all have these blinders on and you can't see the
blinders,
truth.
you're the one lying through your ass.
It's the due process. That's the way things work.
No, it's not due process.
How long did it take to impeach Nixon?
It's always done.
Can they cross-examine?
Phil, how long did it take to impeach Nixon? What was Nixon's approval rating before they impeached him?
It was pretty. It was
pretty high. His
Well,
approval rating before the impeachment was pretty high.
Very
And
high.
it was because of the impeachment that took over a year to do that people started saying, oh, shit. And it's the same thing with Trump.
This is just a shit show.
And it's actually it's moving a little faster. There's no crime. There's no crime to say, hey, my government voted to give you this money, but I'm going to hold it up until you give me dirt on my opponent.
He didn't hold it up. He just said, hey, you look into this.
And then where did this extra, what was it, 140 million come from?
Biden's son.
Yeah, no, it came from Trump.
For what?
Trump actually put in extra money into the Ukraine.
Trump put in money?
Yes. Where did this extra money come from? Look it up. Look up the facts, Phil. The Congress voted to approve so much money to the Ukraine that Trump held up, and then after the end, when he released it, he actually released more money than what he was allowed.
Because he was making sure that he wasn't donating money to a corrupt government.
So then he gave him more money when they said, okay.
And by the way, Phil, the dog also ate his homework.
He didn't have any word in it at all. Congress donated it.
Yeah, no. Trump wrote a check. Jason said so.
No, I said that Congress voted and approved money to give to the Ukraine, and then Trump held it up until he said, give me dirt on my opponent.
We'll see when the real facts come out and not the leaks that you're getting from Nadler and Schiff.
Yeah, well...
Nowhere in the Constitution does it say the president can decide to withhold money that Congress votes. That is not in the Constitution.
But the president, well, the president's responsible to give money and not give it to nations that are corrupt.
Even though his advisors already told him that the corruption was already done with and that you should give him the money. Because you're actually sitting there to fight.
His advisors were as corrupt as the donation.
So who appointed his advisors? He did.
Yeah.
So it's his own corruption.
Only the best.
Hey, Jason, I want you to enjoy that Jeep Patriot. You know, a Compass. It's got your name on it. You know, I hate.
Well, you enjoy that Lexus in jail because that's where Trump's going to be.
That ain't going to happen. Nothing's going to happen.
Well, you said this wasn't. Wait a minute, Phil. Wait a minute, Phil. You said this wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
No, I said that.
Did he say it or didn't he say it, Charlie?
Impeachment.
Charlie, did he or did he not say it wouldn't? When I said a couple of days ago that they were going to be voting on this thing, and you said, "quote," and I can go back and find the video.
You should go back and find it.
I'll find the video where you said that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and nothing has happened. This is nothing.
Back when the Republicans kept saying there's never been a vote on it. There's never been a vote on it.
Well, they haven't had a vote. The only vote they had is to continue this investigation.
No, to bring it out into the open and set up a set of rules for the investigation and so on. This is part of the process, Phil. And you said this would not happen. You said it wouldn't happen.
We'll see. Why don't you find that recording?
I will find it.
Can you find it now?
No, I can't. I don't have time.
What do you mean you don't have time?
I have enough work to do after the show trying to find audio of what I just did because I wasn't recording the audio of it. So,
right.
I have enough problems, Phil, without having to go look for video of you saying it. And it wouldn't take that long because you said it dozens of times.
All right. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, I'll find it, Phil.
Yeah, you better make a PSA out of it.
A PSA out of it?
Yeah.
Why?
You know, like your announcements, your commercials.
Those aren't PSAs. Well, they are because they're not making me any money.
It would be if it was my voice.
It's PSI?
I mean, honestly, I don't know why, if they have overwhelming evidence of Trump's innocence, like Giuliani claims, I don't know why you guys wouldn't be rooting for a trial. It would be a perfect opportunity to humiliate the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
In the re-election.
They were until they took a vote.
They have been humiliated time and time again. And let them have their trial. They're going to be humiliated again.
Yeah, keep believing that.
Yeah.
Remember
Mueller?
Oh,
the Mueller
report. They're going to be humiliated again when we rub his face in that later.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I support my people.
You do?
Yeah.
Who's your people?
Even when they admit the crimes. Yeah, you support them. Even when
He didn't admit to anything.
Bullshit. He committed all kinds of crimes.
No, you're saying it's a crime. I say what he did was a good thing.
The federal statutes say it's a crime to ask any foreign government to interfere with or to investigate your political opponent.
Oh, you got dirt on Hillary, Russia? Let's have a meeting.
Yes.
You know,
if you give them,
they'll get to the bottom of it. And the IG, who is working with the Senate, when they start, arresting guys like what's his name? Not Nadler. Yeah, Nadler and
they're going to arrest Nadler for what?
Well, because he made statements that he had proof that Trump colluded and did a whole bunch of other stuff.
Lied 13,000 times.
It doesn't matter. Is that a whataboutism?
It doesn't matter.
That's another whataboutism.
I'm just saying.
Because he did this.
Phil, you can't prosecute a federal official for making a statement about another public official. Okay, and your boy Trump has it all wrong when he says, "Oh, I'm going to impeach so and so in the Senate." And you can't impeach senators. You can't impeach senators. It's not written.
We'll see.
You can't.
Don't you? You
know
they got a bunch of guys with guns called the firing squad.
There is your wall around Colorado.
There is no provision.
Only the House can institute impeachment hearings. The Senate has no authority to impeach shit.
Yeah, but on the other hand,
in 2020, when Trump is not, he may get, they can impeach him over a parking ticket, but the Senate won't convict him. And in 2020, when he's reelected, and the House turns Republican because they get rid of those do-nothings, then they can start going after
those. There's 900 bills sitting on McConnell's desk. Don't talk about Democrats as do-nothing.
Well, he's a little overextended. Maybe he can put it on MasterCard.
Let me put it this way, Phil. What's going to happen here, okay, is that Trump is safe as long as his approval rating with Republicans is over 50%. In other words, over 50% say we don't want impeachment of Donald Trump. Now, let me finish before you open your big fat mouth, okay? Let me finish. Now I forgot what I was going to say.
Trump is safe as long as the Republican
as long as the ratings, the approval ratings of 55% hold in the Republican Party. The 55% say he should not be impeached. 44% say he should be, or they should go ahead with the impeachment hearings. If that goes below 50%, you're going to start seeing so many Republican senators running for the exits that you won't be able to believe it, Phil. Because the only loyalty they have to Trump is that he holds that 55%.
Even 2 Democrats today voted not to continue with the hearing.
Well, because they didn't believe in it. That's fine. That's fine. They weren't breaking with party line.
Well, one Democrat and one who was a Republican that went independent.
There are a lot of Democrats who don't believe who for a long time did not believe in impeachment, and I think there's some who still hold on to that. I think there's some who voted yes today to go ahead with this to allow the process to happen. Okay?
Well, the process doesn't mean that he's going to be impeached. Just because there's an investigation,
Phil,
you claim guilt through accusation.
Phil, of course, there's guilt through accusation, and the accusation. What else is an indictment but an accusation, Phil?
Yeah.
But in being indicted is not being.
Phil, what more is an indictment?
They're either going to impeach him or they're not.
What more is an indictment than an accusation that you did something?
Well, because an indictment is usually based on fact.
Well, this is based on fact.
Impeachment.
Maybe you don't think it's based on fact.
No, because you can impeach a guy because he wears yellow socks.
And you can indict a Yellow Pages.
That's exactly what they're trying to do.
And then you can also lose your entire party's election. So I guess,
and that's what the Democrats are going to do.
But I don't think it's going to happen that way.
Yellow Pages. What would
Aren't you guys afraid?
I'm not going to have a trial.
Aren't you guys afraid that the Democratic Party is going to be ripped apart and destroyed after this election?
No, aren't you afraid the Republican Party is going to be?
The Republican Party.
Okay, well, we're at an impasse here.
There's enough Americans who still have pride and traditions and everything of our country and what we stand for.
Let me get a quote from you. Are you saying he will not be impeached?
I don't think he'll be impeached.
No, you don't. Correct. You don't say he will be impeached.
Definite before.
You've been more adamant. You've been more adamant about that every other time we've brought it up than you have been just now.
I gave it some thought before I said I don't think he's going to be impeached.
Okay.
What? You gave something thought before you said something?
Everybody remember
this shit show is not an impeachment.
At 11:17 today. He said that. Okay, so I can go back and get it. That when the impeachment takes place, I can go back and. Yeah. Hello, Patrick. How are you this evening? Hello, Jeff. How are you this evening? Hello, Tony. How are you this evening?
I'm okay.
Voting to impeach.
Handing out candy.
How are you doing, Patrick? Just peachy. Just peachy.
Yeah, no complaint.
Yeah.
No, he's in peachy.
Yes, Jason.
So I have to ask, because I live in a house, who all handed out candy this year, and did you have a good turnout or no?
We had one family. Zero. We had one family that came by, and we gave them candy.
Wow. Yeah, it's like rainy and windy and crappy here.
Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah,
that never stopped me.
Well, it was rainy and windy. It was rainy and windy and crappy here, but we live in an apartment house, so you would think they would stay in the apartment house and go get the candy from everybody else. They never get to the 8th floor. Every year, Marjorie goes out, buys candy, and it sits there and rots for a year. Yes, Patrick.
We probably had like 12 people.
Patrick?
Oh, I got a lot of kids.
We have global warming happening here. I woke up to 6 inches of snow. So there was no trick or treat here. Most of the areas canceled and are rescheduling for this coming weekend. So yeah, it was about 31 degrees and 6 inches of snow this morning. So there wasn't shit happening.
Wow.
And we had 50-mile-an-hour winds, which is like unheard of this time of year.
Yeah. Well, I was walking down the street. Everywhere I went to the chiropractors today, which I think it's going to be the last time, because I just, I think it's money I'm pissing down the fucking
It's like a donation to his retirement.
Yeah, exactly. He's a nice guy and all of that. But, this idea that, well, you got to come back more, because if we don't do it twice a week, it's going to go back to the way it was.
Yeah.
And, I don't get that from my normal doctor. He says, here, take these pills and you get rid of the infection. Anyway.
Hey, the pills haven't been helping your back, though, have you? Because you finally broke down and went to a chiropractor.
Actually, the pills, these pills, the
cyanide,
the Lyrica, has been doing okay by me.
Yeah, right.
By the way,
I think you should
interesting.
get a teeter hang-ups and hang upside down and do some sit-ups.
Interesting, just side story. Once every 3 months, I pick up all my drugs because we do the 3-month thing because it's cheaper, and I'm paying less for 3 months than I did for 1 month in the old days going to my local pharmacy. And the most expensive drug that I had was the Cialis or Tadalafil, is a generic term.
Yep.
And it was $125 a month as a copay. All right. Today I go in
5 milligram.
Yeah, I went in today. It dropped down to $50.
Ooh,
I
nice.
saved $75. Now I don't know if that maybe my out of pocket was over with or something like that. But Marjorie says hers hasn't gone down, and she has more drugs than I do, more expensive ones. So, it went down $50. It's $75. So,
Are you buying that from Costco?
No, I'm buying it from Walgreens Community. It's called. It's just nothing but a pharmacy, and my plan says I have to go buy at Walgreens because Walgreens is the one that is empowered to do this whole thing for what's the company? Express Scripts.
That's a drug company the pharmacy your drug company owns.
Well, no. Express Scripts is the company, and they don't own Walgreens now.
There's a pharmacy in Canada that my ex told me about. I can't remember the name, but it's the price of those drugs. I'll get it for you and text it to you. But I looked at some diabetes stuff, and it was like 20% of the price.
Yeah.
And you can you give them your prescription.
I'll tell you, the same thing's true. The same thing's true of Express Scripts. I mean, I'm paying for 1 month incredibly less than I would for 3 months, incredibly less than I was paying for 1 month before.
I can't remember the name of this pharmacy, but when I do, I'll text it to you.
Well, best thing to do.
You can go online and you can look up the drug, and they'll tell you what their price is.
Best thing is to go is with Express Scripts. Express Scripts, and go with their plan where you buy 3 months at a time. It's going to be a lot cheaper, Phil.
Right. How much is fentanyl on that website? Send that fucking.
Yeah.
Send me that fucking.
You can only get the Chinese stuff.
What's a 30-pack of Percocets running nowadays? I'm paying $5 a pill on the street. So
you can only get the Chinese stuff, and you got to get it through the guy coming over with a backpack from Mexico.
So anyway, Jeff, say something so we know you're alive.
I'm alive. I'm talking.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Tony, say something so I can make sure you're alive.
Happy Halloween. I still got a little candy left.
Oh, man, the weather is
We made bags for the kids next door so they didn't come over yet.
How many kids came to your door tonight?
I had a lot of kids. I bought a lot of candy.
Because you're in a neighborhood. Yeah. Well, no, we don't have to see the candy. Yeah.
Well, if he shares.
Well, I'll show you.
Hey, Tony, we
These little
handed
kids
out
next door. So my mother says, let's make the kids bags because we watch the kids sometimes. So they went to a kiddie party. So when they come back, we gave them like chocolate. We made them bags.
You take the razor blades out of the apple.
Them the same amount.
Yeah. You see, the thing
Tony,
because if the little one gets more than the other one.
Tony, do you take the razor blades out of the apple?
My mother,
you don't give them away?
No, my mother used to throw the candy out when we went trick-or-treating. When we came home, we were right in the garbage can. Because they were sticking razor blades.
That's what she told you, but she really ate it.
No, she threw them out.
We handed out full-size candy bars this year.
Yeah. So you're the one promoting diabetes in Detroit.
Yeah, my house is like the sugar house on this block.
Well, you know what? Marjorie, when she went to buy candy, figured it would be a good thing if she bought sugar-free candy. I think parents would probably like that a lot. You cannot buy Halloween candy that's sugar-free.
All the stuff that would take it.
Diabetic candy.
They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know the difference.
They get hardened arteries and die.
Huh? I had a hard time finding candy corn for my mother. I was going nuts looking for it.
You give them Hall's Mentholyptus.
I had to go to CVS for it.
Yeah, but and then they sell you these giant bags of it, expecting that
I got a little one for like $6.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you probably can buy enough so that you don't,
You freeze it?
You freeze it and use it next year. Yeah.
I'd take it the next year if it was in my freezer.
Yeah,
no,
because I mean,
we have two of these.
We've got, these kids came over and we just piled their thing full of candy because we knew that we weren't going to get many people coming up. So
you got one family, right?
Then Marjorie said, "Oh, I hope we don't have anybody else coming up because we've just given them all the candy we have." And I said, "Don't worry about it." And we sat here and sat here and sat. Well, we were watching something, but we waited and waited and waited, and nobody.
Adults come by, Alex, looking for candy. The older kids.
Huh?
They
what
weren't
you do?
Awesome. I gave them M&Ms because at 7:30, 8 o'clock, I was getting close to the end. So whoever was coming at the end, I was getting them 3 or 4 of stuff just because I'm going upstairs after this. I said I'm running.
3 or 4 Tootsie Rolls.
You wait till the kids go down to the corner.
I'm not going to C-Town to get another bucket bag of candy.
I remember
you wait till the kids get to the corner, and then you say, "Give me the bag, kid," and you run off.
No, they got enough. I got 3 big bags from Costco, the big ones. I kept some for myself, though. I bought a little pouch. I got it over here. I got like the Hershey bar when I'm watching the football game before I had mine. So let me get a Hershey. I was watching the 49ers.
Next time we see Tony, he's going to look like Phil.
I'm going to have to go to the gym, I think, Saturday. But I'm pretty good. I'll just monitor myself with it. But the chocolate is my vice. I love Hershey's chocolate. Yeah.
You should give some to Alex. He gave all his candy away.
He likes the candy, though. Yeah, you like the candy. You kept some candy, Alex, I bet.
I don't eat candy.
You don't eat no candy?
I eat sugar-free, yeah.
Oh, I could see Phil chomping down the Hershey's, too.
I can't have it in the house.
Good stuff.
I can't have it in the house.
He's a diabetic.
Oh, it'll spike right up then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're off the bed.
So, anyway, where was I?
Candy.
Years ago, it was Halloween, and I didn't have any candy or anything. So I said, what am I going to do? And, it's trick or treat. You don't necessarily have to give candy.
Let them eat cake.
And in those days, I used to get tons of records, from the record companies. They would send me every release that they had. And
not for sale. Right?
And when they were the ones I didn't want to keep or doubles or whatever, I put them by the door. Okay. And I finally had a pile like this of these things. And so when people on Halloween came to the door, I gave them a couple of albums. And they were delighted. Hey, look what I got, an album. And they left. And about 10 minutes later, be a knock on the door. Do you have anything better than this, like candy?
That would be me. I have this. I need a candy.
Yeah.
This guy's giving records out, Ma. This is a chip.
Yeah.
See, that's the cool thing in our neighborhood. Some people give out potato chips and different things like that. It's nice sometimes.
Well, I just think that, giving out chocolate is not the best. Candy is not the best idea in the world. I think it's unhealthy.
I signed up for $25 a month for unlimited testing strips to test your glucose, for diabetes. Mm-hmm. So next year, because I have unlimited strips, I can give them out at Halloween.
Yeah, right.
Test, see if your kids are diabetic.
Hey, use this. You'll know if you're eating too much of that stuff.
Kid comes in, he's all chubby. I don't even have to give you the strip. We know what this is going to read.
But anyway, boy, this has been a short show tonight so far, but it feels like it's gone on forever. I don't know why.
Hey, any word on your storage unit?
Oh, it's fine. Oh, yeah, Damien wrote me tonight. He's going to be back on the air tomorrow night. Everything's fine at the storage unit. So,
good for you.
Good.
So
it's just smoldering.
I have to still keep paying him every month. So,
And when do you see
your
doctor there?
What?
When do you see your urologist?
Oh, that's on Monday. Yeah.
You're 3,000 miles away. You're paying $180 a month. Why would he tell you the place burned down when you're still sending a check? Yeah, it's fine.
Never been
Send
better.
a check.
Nice of you to ask, Jeff. Yes, it's Monday. It's Monday.
Monday. All right.
Monday. Well, no, it's Sunday.
Yeah. So anyway,
Good thing Phil is in control in the storage unit.
Hmm?
I don't put it here.
Yeah. Well, anyway. So, well, that's about all I got. you know.
That's it.
That's,
Next is the intersection.
I'm sitting around worrying about that test on. They're going to see the doctor on Monday, but it'll probably be. Okay.
Who fucking
Start
cares?
thinking about Trump, and everything will be better.
Well, I will probably have prostate cancer. It's just a matter of
They
what
can't
kind.
tell that unless they do a biopsy. Even if he feels it and he feels some sort of bump
Well,
or
you're
something.
wrong, Phil. They can tell it without a biopsy.
Hey, Alex, are you still doing
There
the
is a new
bicycle or
test
no?
called a 4K test. Did they tell you about that?
What, they stick the fork up the?
No, it's called,
Oh, I didn't know about it. I don't have a prostate
4K
anymore.
test,
Why would I
and
know that?
it's a new test they have where they can see if it's aggressive or not without doing a biopsy.
Alex, are you still doing the bicycle?
Not right now because I don't want to do it until after this test.
You should do the elliptical. Replace that with a bicycle.
I like the elliptical.
No, you know what I've been doing instead of
And do it backwards.
what I've been doing is a lot of walking.
That's good for you.
You know,
To the refrigerator.
I found I was getting a little bored with the cycle. I'll probably go back to it after my prostate.
I've actually been
You
watching.
watch porn when you're on
What were you
site.
saying, John?
I said I've actually been watching a lot of TV. I feel pretty good about it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. And you're seeing a lot of foreign countries and things like that, are you? And,
Yeah.
well, no. The thing is that you just get a little tired of,
We do travel a lot. And we'll actually be gone next week. We are actually going on a trip next week.
Where are you going?
We're going to
LSD?
Washington, D.C. for 4 or 5 days.
Ah, okay. Did you see the tasteless thing that President Trump did today? in
He
which
does
he's-
nothing tasteless.
He opened his mouth.
Jesus, Phil, can I just finish a sentence?
He French kissed Phil.
Forget it. Go tell the story that I was going to tell.
I didn't know the story you were going to tell.
Well,
I just
then
said
why
he does
did
nothing
you
tasteless.
why did you jump in?
Because I just made a comment that he doesn't do anything tasteless.
He can't help it.
You said it was
Anyway.
tasteless. I said, and that's not.
Back to running down
You
Trump.
don't
Let's get
always
back
have to be playing your part, Phil.
Ah,
You know, we know we hired you to play a role on this show, but you don't have to play it all the time. Okay. Anyway, he published a picture. One of his tweets was a picture of the dog that caught what's his
Bin Laden.
name?
The other guy, Baghdadi.
Baghdadi.
Baghdadi. Who's your Baghdadi? And
I call it a dog. Some people call it a canine, but I call it a dog.
I call it a dog. Yeah, he did say that. I think some people call it a canine. I call it a dog.
It was a beautiful dog.
Anyway,
With 9 lives.
he published a picture of him putting the Medal of Honor around the dog's neck.
The dog was in the hospital.
No, that's another dog. There were 2 dogs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this
And-
the one that had the dog
Now,
cam?
can I finish, Phil? Please.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Allow me to finish.
Yeah, sure.
Gosh, I'm just trying to tell the story and just let me finish it without interruption here. So he's got this picture of him putting the Medal of Honor around the dog's neck. What they did to get the picture was they took a picture of him giving the Medal of Honor to, I can't remember who, but some guy recently who won the Medal of Honor as a great distinction, and they erased him out of the picture and put the dog in. And people thought that was in just terribly bad taste. Yes, Patrick.
Who fucking cares?
Well,
And furthermore, it was not the Medal of Honor because they did change the medal to a dog paw. So eliminating the guy out of the photo, who cares? If you look at any number of memes that are out there, they've been bastardized and changed. And now the only reason this one got any notice at all is because Trump's in trouble. Usually, the Democrats could give a fuck about the military or the Medal of Honor. And now, just because of what's happening,
Imagine if it was Obama and they altered a picture.
Yeah, the Republicans give so much fucks about the military.
Say, imagine if it was Obama and they altered a picture with a Medal of Honor.
Well, I would say
Dude, he would be impeached for that.
I would say the same thing now. Who cares?
They altered the birth certificate.
You would, but Phil wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, the dog, big fucking deal. And I would have if they didn't change the metal. But the metal would change to a dog paw, so it wasn't even really even a Medal of Honor. It's just, big fucking deal. There's other things to worry about than that.
Why is it not a Medal of Honor? Are you a speciesist? Just because it's a dog can't get a Medal of Honor? Jeez.
Well,
due to global warming.
Yeah, I don't know. Right, and I saw who was going apoplectic over it, and I thought normally you guys don't give a shit about the Medal of Honor anyway. So
what makes you say that?
What do you mean,
That's
guys?
just Republican propaganda.
Do you think that Democrats don't care about a person who does an act of
heroism?
heroism?
It's not a person, Alex. It's a dog.
Yes.
Now, I base it on what I've seen with people posting, and I know I have my own little bubble of friends on Facebook, but like this last Medal of Honor that was given yesterday to a Master Sergeant from 2008, I was the only one out of the friends that I was able to see that posted about it. And I've got about 5 friends that are on the right and everybody is on the left. And I got about 6 likes on the story. And that just tells me that people look at shit like that and they go, oh, it's the military, just fuck it. And I'm like, this guy could have been a Democrat, this Master Sergeant, and it doesn't matter. So I think like that. And the same with al-Baghdadi, his death. I posted, good job, special operators. I had nothing about Trump. I had nothing about anyone else. And there were maybe 2 or 3 other people that I knew of that posted about getting rid of that cowardly fucking terrorist. And yes, he was a coward and he died like a bitch and a dog and all that.
He died like a dog.
I mean,
how did he die like a dog? I don't understand that. Exactly.
Whining and crying.
Wait a minute, whining and crying.
And then he pulled the cord and killed himself.
Yeah, wait a
like
minute. Hold on a second. The only thing that I hold against him is that he pulled the cord on the suicide vest with his 2 kids there.
His kids pulled their own cords too.
Did they?
That's what I heard.
But the point is that I thought that was wrong. That was bad. Okay. But so far as committing suicide with a suicide vest, I don't know if that exactly. I'm going to go back to Bill Maher and his statement about the guys who flew the planes into the World Trade Center. He said, his whole thing was somebody called them cowards. And he said they may be a lot of things. They may be horrible human beings. But you can't call somebody who flies a plane into a building and takes his own life a coward.
I think.
And wait a minute, let me finish, Phil.
I'm
not finished, Phil. I'm not finished. The fact is, the fact that this guy blew up himself with a suicide vest doesn't exactly make him a coward. He's still an asshole. He was still a terrible human being. He was still a worthless human being whose life I'm not mourning in the least. But the fact is, I don't know if I could call him a coward.
Yes, you can, because he wasn't facing his adversaries.
That's the bravest thing you can do is take your own life.
I don't think taking your own life is brave at all. I think it is a cowardly act.
What about the soldier that jumps on the grenade, saving his whole platoon?
That's not suicide.
That's a hero.
That's suicide.
No, it's not.
But Phil, you got to remember, Phil. One person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter.
That's right.
Yeah, you believe that.
No, that is true, Phil.
It's the truth.
I might not agree with the person and what they're doing, but what they're doing is taking their own life. That's not a cowardice thing. I might not agree with it, but
he was going to be captured, and rather than be captured, he blew himself
so
up.
he was going to be captured.
That's not
He
a
was going to be
cowardly act.
captured when he decided to take a plane and crash it into a building. He wasn't going to be captured then. He was going to be some rich little.
No, those guys are crazy.
Well, I don't know that he was going to be captured, and I don't know that it matters for the semantics of this
The dog
argument.
was on his way down there.
But I don't know that he was going to be captured. I mean, I guess my point of the whole thing about them talking about how he died and all that, and I know Patrick is going to agree with this. When a special op team of SEALs goes in like that and you're on the kill list, they're not looking to take you alive. You're on the kill list. They're looking to put a bullet in your head, not in your chest, because they think you're wearing a suicide vest. They don't have time to let you beg for your life or anything. They're not taking any chances. You enter the room, there's a male enemy combatant, he's getting a bullet. It's simple as that. I mean, you're on the kill list. And to be quite honest, I have no problem with that.
They went there to kill him.
Yeah, I know. So, like I said, I don't even know if the point matters for what you guys were discussing, but I don't think they go into the building looking to take
all he managed to do. All he
with,
managed to do was deprive them of the satisfaction of taking him alive. Okay,
yeah.
or killing him themselves.
Right. No, I agree with that.
And the fact that he deprived him of that does not make him a coward. You know.
Now his children would not have been held responsible for his actions. So why kill them?
I don't know that that's true.
Yeah.
Would it be more, Phil?
They were young children, weren't they? They weren't like Hussein.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. But I don't know that the special operations team would be looking to take them out. You know, I mean, he did that, you know, on his own, which is sickening. You know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've read quite a lot about this. I mean, not just watch the Hollywood glorified movies, but I mean, I just know that per training, they go into a room and any male of an adult age jumps out from behind anything. You know, they're going down. I mean, they're not going to try to take people alive, and there certainly wouldn't have been time to, you know, listen to him beg for his life and please don't kill me. And no, I'm sorry. If you have a shot, this is not the police. There's not going to be any trial. You know, this is a pre-authorized kill, and that's the end of the story.
And I think,
you know, like I said, I'm a bit of a defense hawk, despite my liberalism.
Yeah, well, I think that his decision to use the suicide vest and to kill himself was a decision that he probably made well in advance of that incident. Mm-hmm. You know, that he decided if he was ever cornered, he was going to pull the switch on himself. Because he didn't want to be caught. He didn't want to have happen to him what happened to
Saddam Hussein.
No, not Saddam Hussein.
They hung him, right? They hung him.
No, we're not talking about Saddam Hussein.
I know,
Phil.
yeah, but Bin Laden was killed in a raid.
He was killed in a raid. He didn't.
He was buried at sea.
I don't think he wanted that to happen. Although they have buried Baghdadi at sea too.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the other part of in the same vein. Mm-hmm. You know, a special operations team, a SEAL team, or whatever that goes in, they're not going to take even 15 seconds of satisfaction to let you beg for your life. You know, and the reason why is because, you know, by this point in the raid, there are a lot of people that are aware that you're there and what you're there for. There are more fucking bad guys coming. I mean, we need to do the fucking job, and then we need to get the fuck out of here. Because we have the numbers right now, but there are more fucking bad guys on the way, and we need to do what we came here to do, and then we're fucking getting out of here before they show up.
The SEAL teams were there for over 2 hours collecting intel from the
I mean, if they secured the site, and obviously we're positive, that they had drone coverage and all that. I mean, if they had the time, sure, that's fine. But like in the Bin Laden raid, for example, it was in a pretty heavily populated area, and there's no doubt there's more fucking bad guys on the way. As much as we'd like to all stick around and cut off Bin Laden's fingers before we put a bullet in his head, we don't have any fucking time for that. I mean, there's fucking people on the way, and when we lose our numbers advantage, that raid would not be thought of as well as it is currently.
Well, let me ask you.
We'd have brought Bin Laden back with 6 or 7 dead SEALs.
Let me ask you this question: What is the sense of capturing the guy alive?
Intel.
Yeah.
Intel.
Didn't the Blind Sheik give up a whole bunch of intel when they got him? And
all lies.
Yeah.
Yeah, all lies. They found his stuff totally unreliable.
But that was the thing that they were talking about during World War II, that you got more intel off your captured prisoners if you played chess with them than if you tortured them.
If you take a person like Bin Laden and you capture him alive, what do you do with him? You know, I mean, you're better off to kill him and not have to deal with the aftermath. You get what I'm saying? You know,
especially if he's a CIA spy.
Patrick?
High up like that, the head, they're not going to give anything up. You may get intel from lower rank people, but you're right. Just eliminate them and be done with it.
Not if they think they might live. They might give you up stuff if they think that they might live and might get away with something.
Well, you know what he was supposedly doing in that region, because he doesn't normally go to that region, but he went there because he was going around to tell everybody that he was getting out of the business, you know, that he was turning the reins of power over to other people.
They killed that guy too, the second in command.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
there's a new guy who today was made the head of
no, I know that guy,
ISIS.
But he must have been the third. There was the second in command was in the same thing and got killed in a separate raid at the same time.
The second in command does not necessarily become the leader. You know why, Phil? What do you have to be in order to be a leader of ISIS?
A sick motherfucker.
No. That's the answer you give because you don't know it. Why don't you say I don't know, Alex? Why don't you say I don't know, Alex? Tell me.
I never ran for that position. And, you know, wouldn't you rather have that than dead air?
I'd rather have dead air. Anyway, the reason is, Phil, that now I forgot what I was coming up with here.
The reason
second command. In order to be the leader of ISIS, you have to be a descendant of Muhammad.
Oh, wow.
And this latest guy, they looked at his name and everything, and he is a descendant of Muhammad as well. The guy who you said was second in command may not have been a descendant of Muhammad.
Was Abraham a relative of Muhammad?
No.
No? Okay, so we're out. We can't be leaders of ISIS?
You can't. It's like a gangster. You can't be a mafia unless you're 100%.
Abraham.
What do you mean can't be leaders of it? Who do you think really has been? It's been the Jewish elite.
Abraham went to Mecca and built the Kaaba, which is that big black cube. He and his son built that.
I thought Halliburton just redid it.
And the origins of the Islamic religion is in fact with Abraham, and his son who was
Strauss.
Jesus.
No.
Come on.
No, you throw me off and then I can't think.
Well, he was his son.
Just shut up for a minute.
All right. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's gonna hang up. Okay. Anyway, I'm trying to remember the name of the son. The son was Ishmael. Ishmael was the son, and Ishmael was he and his mother were banished because Abraham's mother was jealous of them, and they were banished, and they went to Mecca, and when they were in Mecca, Abraham joined them, and they built the Kaaba. So that's the.
In Melville's Moby Dick, wasn't the guy character Ishmael? I think it was, right?
Yes, he was.
Call me Ishmael.
Yeah. But anyway, so
I was going to ask you something too. Do you think they have a mental illness to want to kill themselves? There's got to be some kind of mental disorder to want to take your life.
It's foolish adulation to a cause. You know, I mean,
just to get to that point, they want to take your life. Like, what kind of frame of mind?
Cultism. Yeah. We have the same thing going on here every single day. Cultism.
What I found
there's got to be a mental disorder. Then.
What I found incredibly disgusting is over the years how they've used these people who really have nothing to live for as suicide bombs. You know, none of them go out and scrap a bomb to themselves and go out and do the same thing. No, they go and seduce somebody into doing it. Yeah, Patrick first, and then yeah. Yes.
And that's the reason that I called him a coward, is taking his own kids out with him.
I'd find that abominable.
Yeah,
People call him a wussy motherfucker, but he's just taking himself out, and he's being a martyr for whatever he believes in.
Mm-hmm.
But take your kids out, it's no different than somebody taking a hostage in a bank robbery. You're a pussy. You're using somebody else as a human shield, or you're gonna take them with you because whatever reason. So
right.
That's why I call them.
Yeah, that is, I think, absolutely wrong. And you can call him anything you want to. I think he's a disgusting human being just for what he did many years ago. ISIS was literally throwing people off of buildings because they were gay. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's disgusting, and it's all in the name of religion. This is why I'm not religious, because religion just does horrible things.
Yeah.
I just think that our biggest problem in this world is religion, is organized religion. And it's the reason we have. I mean, why do people do the things that ISIS does? It's all in the name of religion.
Yeah. It's a crazy thing. Yeah, if you
why does Israel do what they do? It's all in the name of religion. They
don't realize when they close their eyes, we're all going to the same place if it exists. I would imagine. I mean, it's so crazy thinking that you're going to go someplace different. Because our bodies are all the same. It's like they can't rationally think that. Like, listen.
Well, the insanity that I just can't make any sense out of is the hatred between the Jews and the Islamics when they share the same root religion. They are both
Jews.
What do you think?
Christians.
It's a difference of opinion.
They are both monotheistic religions. They both believe in. They've got treif. And we've got kosher. It's pretty much the same thing, and it's kind of like two women who show up at a party wearing the same dress, and they just hate each other because they're so similar. Yes, Jason.
It's kind of wild.
Is Christianity even monotheistic?
It is monotheistic. Yeah.
Is it because
in
God
some
the Father,
some
God
people,
the Son, and God the Holy
Spirit? Well, that is the place where people feel maybe it isn't monotheistic because it is God, the Mother, the Son, the Holy Ghost.
And it just takes so much from other religions that they've gone and conquered.
Yeah. So I mean, but
Jesus is Thor, or other religions is another character, and that's two different gods, three different gods. It's
but it's just insane, and it's insane the war that if we are going to see the end of civilization as we know it, it's because of all these religions fighting with each other, and I find that horrible, just horrible. Phil, do you have anything you want to add?
He's quiet. Don't tell me he's going to convert now.
Huh? What? Who?
Phil, he's going to convert to ISIS. What is he doing?
Yeah, well, we could
tell me he's coming to the Catholic.
Charlie has his hand up.
Well, yes, Charlie.
I was raised Catholic, and we were always taught that there is one God. There are three people in one God, but it's just one God.
Yeah. Yes, Jason.
So, Charlie, I want to ask you this because I got in I shouldn't have even brought it up with my job because it was at work. I was doing a job for a black customer, and they were extremely religious. But I ended up bringing up the only reason why you are a Christian is because your ancestors were slaves to white people, and you are still worshiping your white master's God. I just like. Was that very offensive? Like how do you feel about?
Well, yeah, I can see how that would be offensive.
That's what got me to atheism. I'm Mexican. Why are my gods not real?
you're going to need a future in floor covering sales.
Yeah, right. But it was just, it just be able to say, your ancestors were enslaved by certain people, and that's why you're Christians. That's the only reason why you're Christians is because you were enslaved by white people.
But they wouldn't see it that way. They would see it as this is the one true God, and just because some white person exposed my ancestors to it doesn't make them any less the one true God.
Well, you know what I don't understand, and this is the hypocrisy of it all. I can't understand why the Christians in this country have embraced Donald Trump, when in fact this is one of the most unchristian people that I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
I don't think he believes in anything, really.
How many baby mamas does he have?
Jesus Christ.
Well, to begin with, he's got 3 baby mamas. There's 3 of them. Yeah.
Well, you know why, Alex? Maybe because remember he was saying we're going to bring Christmas back. He preaches what they want to hear. Those Bible.
Yeah, but he isn't doing what he preaches. No, he's gonna grab them by the pussy, and he's gonna marry 3 women and have children by all 3 of them.
He's probably paid for a dozen abortions. Was pro-life.
Yeah, so I mean, how Christian?
You're estimating low.
I still can't believe it.
How could a Christian possibly go along with that? I just don't understand it.
And they vote for him. Like he's everything they oppose.
Because when I hear about Christianity and what Christianity believes and the teachings of Christ, I go, hey, this is pretty good stuff. Love thy neighbor and all that other stuff. And I guess maybe Trump just took it too seriously. Yes,
and you cannot bear false witnesses, and he lies all the time.
Yeah,
that's his whole cabinet.
Yeah, Patrick.
I covered thy wife. He did that.
Yeah.
He checked all this.
And other people's wives.
Yeah. What were we going to say quickly, Patrick, because we're running out of time?
Christians are very forgiving, and they love thy neighbor, even if it is Donald Trump.
I see. Okay.
Love thy neighbor's wife.
I don't know. As a Christian, I don't think I could abide by Trump, but yet they vote for him and they invite him to their big, Christian dealy bops, whatever those things are they hold. That was the best term I could come up with right now. But anyway, I don't know. Oh, well, let me see here. Let me start rolling the theme. I may as well, because...
Katie Hill didn't do anything different than Melania Trump did.
Who didn't do anything different?
Congresswoman Hill from California that just was forced out of the Congress.
I don't think she should have quit. I just don't think she should have quit. I don't think that was enough to quit on, Plus, she was set up by her ex-husband, who was trying to get at her. So she shouldn't have quit. Just like I don't think a lot of people shouldn't have quit.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, that's it for tonight. Short show because we had problems earlier. And I hate problems, so, that's the way it goes. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you calling tonight. It's always good to see you. Josh, great to see you. Phil, always fine to see you. Thank you for shutting up for the last couple of minutes. Jeff, thank you. Thanks to Tony, to Charlie, to Patrick. Did I leave anybody else? Jeff, did I say Jeff? Yeah? I got everybody. Why doesn't everybody, give a big wave goodbye, okay? All right? Goodbye, everybody. Okay, there they go, folks. That's our citizen panel for tonight. We got on a little late tonight, but turned out to be a rather... what was it? It was a show of some sort. No, it was a good one. It had a lot of things going for it. Anyway, I'm running out of time here. Let me just say that I will be back again tomorrow night after the exchange, because tomorrow night Damian Chapman will be doing it at 9:30 Eastern Time. And then at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, I'll be back with more of the same here at GabNet. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, here at GabNet, I will be here with more of the same. That's 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.